Now, the NFL season is officially over, and the Seahawks are now the NFL champions, and that's all great. A lot of people were up in arms this year, but not about the teams playing against each other, but more so who is performing at halftime. Now, I'm not here to get into the politics of that situation. I don't really care either which way. If you like Bad Bunny's music, great. If you don't, great too. That's up to you. But there's something we could always take from this, and that's why I'm bringing it even up. The Super Bowl halftime show, Bad Bunny, people said, oh, he was talking about what he thought about the politics in America, but why would he still perform? And some people saying, oh, to get that bag, as the kids say, money. But did you know that you do not get paid to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show? I've known this for years, and people would say, why the heck would you not get paid? You're one of the biggest performers, and does that even make sense? And a lot of people say this classic response of, I would never work for free, but why would a multimillionaire, Grammy Award-winning artist, and many other do so? Because they see the bigger picture. And that's what you need to do too. So where do I bring this into the mental performance field specifically? I've talked about on the channel many times about internships. Now, about 2-3 weeks ago, I had an individual kind of come sideways at me and almost try to berate me about my stance on internships. Now, at Mind Body One, we have something called the mentorship, which is different. And I won't get into the details, but it sets people up in position to not only thrive in the industry, but get access to all our proprietary IP. But I'm so adamant about it, as people say, not because I just want free labor, because all honesty, it's about value exchange. And that's why Bad Bunny and all of the other performers do the Super Bowl. It's not about saying, oh, can I get paid $5,000, $10,000, $10 million? It's about what comes from it. Think about that. Hundreds of millions, I think it was 133 million people viewed the Super Bowl. Now, did all of them watch the halftime show? No. But let's say only 10%. Let's say 10%. Let's go low. 10%. That's 13 million people. If we want to be even more conservative about it, we say 5%. That's about 6 million people. Shoot, we can say 2%. That's about 3 million people. And we can go over down to 1, talking about 1 million people. Even at 1%, you're getting 1 million eyes on you, more than most companies will ever dream of getting, more than most people will ever get in their business lifetime, in this case, as a practitioner. Now, bring it to internships, it's the same thing. You're getting something that you wouldn't typically get on your own merit. People get caught up in my time is worth money. And that's such a small-minded way to look at things, because in actuality, nobody's time is worth money other than what you place on it and what people are willing to accept to pay you. I've had people mince over $10, $15, $20, $30 throughout my business ownership. And I play usually above market rate for the most part. But if you're relegating yourself just to 1 hour, $20, 1 hour, $40, 1 hour, $100, whatever it is, you're missing the bigger picture. So that's why people get dissuaded about internships, because in actuality, you're not looking at one. Who are you being mentored by? Who are you doing this intern with? Is it with a company that's reputable? Is it with an individual? Is it with something that's innovative? Because I can speak highly of Mind Body One. Obviously, it's my business, but we have the track record to prove it. We have invented dozens of intellectual properties, whether it's websites, apps, tools that don't exist anywhere else. And everyone on our team gets access to these. That right there is value. Or I've spent the last 15 years building up my resume, learning things that most people won't, doing the aspects in the mental performance that people don't think to do. And I've learned that. And I also have skills in other fields that I can bring to you. You're getting that at a fraction of the time and none of the price. That's an equal exchange. Or the fact is, let's be real. You do it for networking, right? Let's just call it what it is. I could put you in doors that you probably couldn't do yourself right now because you're still building yourself up. Even if you're not building yourself up, maybe you just want to connect from someone you know has a mutual lane. And that's not a bad thing. People say, oh, you don't want to use people, but that's smart. You should connect because you're giving them something in return. If you get into a position where it's just grunt work, then yes, that's not a good situation. You should use discretion when going into these. But if you only look at it as, oh, I'm doing this for free, I know my value, that's kind of entitled way to look at it. And that's the type of mindset that will keep you from getting where you need to be in this industry. Like I say, I walk the walk and talk the talk. So this is not me just saying this. And they're going back to that individual who tried to liken internships to slavery, and not to bring politics or race into it, but that's kind of backwards to say that I'm promoting slavery. And they even alluded to that I'm screwing over workers. It's like, no, if you're doing it right as a leader and the boss, you're making sure that people get the most out of you. If they're interns, you make sure to get your time, your resources, your connections, And in return, whatever you need them to do, they do it. So if we get caught up into just saying, oh, it's free labor, it's free labor, free labor, you're going to miss a big opportunity. So going back to the Super Bowl analogy, let's say the same example, right? Let's say I'm having a Mind Body One Super Bowl. I say, hey, Joe Schmo or Jane Schmaine, I want you to perform or do consulting at this big event I'm doing for Mind Body One. Maybe just say speak even. And I actually did this a few months ago. And basically, these people came out of the knowing of connections. Now, it wasn't a major event, but back to my analogy. I say there's going to be 50,000 people. In this industry, 50,000 is pretty good. I won't say millions, but 50,000 people are going to be spectating to see you speak and do what you do. I won't be able to pay you. Maybe at best, I can pay for your travel. Are you willing to do it? Oh no, I know my worth. I would want at least $2,000 for that. Let's say that's the rate you want. And that's a fair rate. That's not bad at all to speak. That's actually pretty fair. But let's say in this specific opportunity, they're enticing you like, while the money, I get it, you're going to have 50,000 eyes, which opens up either doors, monetary opportunities, and the move away from the analogy, this is not just hypotheticals. I've been on dozens of podcasts with huge audiences. I've gotten hit up by the people watching it that have either wanting my services or connecting me to organizations that want my services. Matter of fact, I'll end with this anecdote. When I first started working with Dustin Poirier, I don't think I've ever told anyone this publicly. I never charged Dustin Poirier to work with him. At that time, I probably would have been charging between $50 to $75 an hour, maybe 100 max. And the opportunity came about. And honestly, I didn't really even care because the opportunity was I'm going to work with one of the best fighters in the world. It started out that way. And eventually, it got me on ESPN, Fox Sports. I've been on ESPN dozens of times, too many to count. And that led to other opportunities where I'm getting called up by people associated with the US military. I'm getting called to be on podcasts. And all those led to monetary opportunities. Now, I'm not saying to do that with everyone. You have to use your discretion. And we didn't do that forever, but for the majority of that time, yes, it was unpaid because I saw the bigger picture and the value. That was me performing at the Super Bowl. So if you want to truly make it in this industry, it's not to say just do stuff for free, because the biggest thing I think is backwards is you're already doing stuff for free. You're probably wearing a shirt that says Nike, shoes that say Nike, jewelry that has another Chanel. You're having something on that isn't yours and you're doing that for free. Spotify had an end of the year wrap. I saw almost everyone sharing it. And that's smart marketing on their part, but I saw it as, and I listen to Spotify all the time. I got my rap. I didn't share it. And have I shared the stuff from Spotify? Sure. But I didn't share that because when you think about it, you just did free marketing for them, but they wrap it up in the gamification of, oh, look how many minutes I've listened, how much my listening age is. And you did that for free. You watch Netflix for free. Matter of fact, you pay. And the end with this, you go on vacation. You spend $1,500, $2,000 to go away for 3-4 days. You paid. But what you get out of it, yes, some time away, but you won't do something for a few hours that will advance your career. That's really backwards. So you got to reframe how you look at this. So that's my take on it. And as always, guys, that's my pathology.